Hello, I'm Daniel. Welcome back into the strange and oddly beautiful thing that is my mind. You know, lately, I think the thing that I've been thinking about more than anything is how focusing on the individual has really screwed over all of us as a collective. I mean, uh, I'll have to explain that. But let me put it this way. For some reason lately, I've been having like flashes of memory, like whole conversations that will play out in my head. And one of them recently was something that made me kind of laugh, but then, like, reminded me of, like, one of my biggest, annoyances, uh, in dealing with people, and that's toxic positivity. Like, okay, the memory that I had was I was so if you listen to this regularly or if you encounter me as a person or anything like that, you know that I deal with, depression and anxiety. And I more talk about depression these days. Um, so I definitely have, especially in the winter months, very, very low points. And so this person who had kind of the same issues and I had just kind of helped through one of their low points. When I told them about that and then kind of like asked for help, I got the response of, I'll break it down to the part that I remember. I'm just about that positive shit right now. Yeah. Which, for the record, probably not number one thing to say to a severely depressed person. Like, let me just break down all the ways that I interpret that. One, you don't care at all about how I feel. Two, you probably don't care how anybody feels. And three, you're probably gonna crash sooner than later. And this is why I say that. Being overly positive is a clear sign that you are deflecting so many things you should be dealing with, in my opinion. Anybody who's just all about that positive is trying to outrun a whole bunch of negative. That is gonna be like an it follows situation. Like, the negative things in life and the things that you have to deal with don't just go away if you ignore them. They are always with you. Or like the creature or the, I guess, living STD that is the it follows monster. They are always walking towards you until you take care of it. And hopefully you have better luck with it than, the people did in that movie. Just saying. But you can't wish away the things you have to deal with. I'm sorry. You can't think your way out of dealing with things you have to emotionally deal with. You have to go through that. And that's the maybe the best way that I can explain my perspective on it, after encountering that, and I think at times being it myself, because honestly, I think of toxic positivity a lot like I think of addiction. Let me just real quickly. They both are sure signs of deflection, of something you need to deal with. Two, it is impossible to get somebody in those two states to pay attention to anything that you find or you're concerned about with their actions or with how they're treating situations. or anything like that because they'll flip it on you to where suddenly you're just a negative thing in their life and they're just all about that positive right now. It's a kind of sidestep, it's a loophole around accountability. 3, they don't care about anything but that feeling. That quote positive feeling or, for addicts, that euphoria, that faux peace that you might get from a high. Same thing. Same thing you're chasing. It's just addicts are more honest about it, I think. But saying all that, and I don't want to be too hard. I say now, but I really don't about like people that are struggling want to feel anything different. And sometimes, honestly, especially when I was, getting over drinking and everything like that, like there are times where you just can't take any more guilt or pain about what you did. You can't keep pushing forward without taking a break to just think about something that was good. I get needing the break. So I try to have some grace with that. But at the same time, I really caution them to think about one, what it is to only focus on positive things, and two, what it is to be overly focused on your individual self. For one, if you meet somebody who only focuses on positives, never expect them to change anything. I'm dead serious. If you only focus on the positives in your life and just snip out all the negatives, nah, you are you don't deal with stuff. Like you're the kind of person that just somebody like points out something that you did or something that hurt them and you just kind of clam up and then kind of like stare off. And then a day later you act like it just never happened. Send them a meme or something like that. Kind of just gloss over it. Which is something a lot of us do. Like I've done it. But I think that it's starting to show how bad that situation's gotten, how horrible it is that we have almost become a society of deflecting. Well, it's also marketing. I mean, of course they want the individual to focus on the individual. An individual can be happy while everything around them is, slowly decaying and going to hell. And happy people buy things. But I digress. I don't want any of you to have to pay the toll for being overly positive now and deflecting that will come years down the line when those things in your life you've been kind of pushing aside get too heavy to move anymore. Don't borrow the future happiness of the payoff of working through things to a point where you naturally just wake up and you're like, what's this? Oh, is this what not feeling the weight of all that stuff I've been carrying forever feels like? Damn. You probably won't say it like that. I mean, maybe you will. Maybe you should be more enthusiastic. That wasn't very good. Anyway, there's a there's a satisfaction to contentment and temporary happiness you've earned. That is levels beyond happiness, contentment. You trick yourself into feeling because you just don't want to feel the opposite at the moment. Sometimes life should hurt. Sometimes you should be heartbroken. Sometimes you should feel offended. Sometimes you should feel corrected. Sometimes you should feel guilt. Sometimes you should feel like a dick because guess what? You are one. But that's okay. You can always be better. But please, don't do what I've seen myself do, what I've seen friends do, what I've seen happen to a lot of people. Don't just look at the positive and call it strength. Work through every aspect of life, the good, the bad, the joyous, the heartbreaking, the mundane, and the insane nights that turn into early mornings being hungover at work. Embrace it all, endure it all, feel it all, learn to balance it all. That's strength. And if we all did that, I think we'd all, as a society, as a world, be in a much better place than we find ourselves now. Anyway, that's enough of my rambling this week. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week. Be kind. And I hope people are kind to you too. Take care, my friends. So long.